Hello trainers, Ganeto here, and today we're diving together into Hoenn Cup with some battles submitted by Woetmak. We're having a lot of action with the Shadow Latios team. At the back we got the pretty meta backline with Registeel and Whiscash, while Shadow Latios is gonna carry a lot offensively with its offensive fast attack of Dragon Breath, deleting pretty much anything other than this Gardevoir, which is pretty clutch up against our Pokemon, able to completely farm down. Perhaps 3 of those charms can be it for our Pokemon, getting out of there as soon as possible, and you already saw that they chunked a nice amount of HP out of our Shadow Latios, trying to snipe us down with those charms. However, now we got the Metal Steel Trash Can. We are gonna bring it into the fight, and we have to outspeed to the move. Yes, we can. Down goes the Deoxys as well. So what lies at the back? It is gonna be the Sableye. So now here comes the Dragon Claw for big damage. They have to respect it. Down goes their shield, and it's all up to the Whiscash. I think that Whiscash is gonna struggle a little bit against the energy that this Sableye has farmed down, so we're just gonna keep going for the Blizzard, but we cannot outspeed. Foul play and we can survive. Woetmak for the big nuke and the potential win, and let's go trainers! Starting off the video with a pretty cool outplay by Woetmak, and that was a pretty close battle overall, and IVs really matter. Into the next one now with the Sableye up in front, gonna bring into play our Whiscash. Let's see what they decide to do. Gonna go with the foul play and now switch out to the Pelipper. Pelipper has to face though our Blizzard, and they are gonna block it. Pretty cool block for them, but we still got the Registeel, which is just gonna hold down the Pelipper at all. So here comes now, I believe, the Regi, right? No, the Latios instead. So I think that Woetmak is suspecting that this opponent might have a double flying at the back, so perhaps keeping the Registeel for the end game, protecting it from all those weather balls, can be the key. We're gonna block the Hurricane and then take those weather balls, which is just fine, and at this point we're just gonna get out of there as soon as possible because we know that the Sableye is coming up. So Sableye on any ABB line is gonna work pretty well as a leader, so that's why perhaps we're gonna keep our Registeel into play. Down they go, that's pretty wonderful for us, and now we can keep going with a Zap Cannon once again on the mirror match against the Registeel of their own. We got the debuff, which means that now we can survive the Focus Blast, and well, they did not have a second flyer at the back, but still our Regi can do a lot more work than theirs after that first debuff, able to land on the CMP, the Focus Blast. Now they cannot farm down, their Focus Blast now can go in, but we can safely farm down and finish them off with the Dragon Claw. They switched out. That was a pretty smart strategy by the enemy, trying to snipe us down, but this is not gonna happen, and Shadow Latios is gonna secure the second victory of this video. Into the next one now with the Registeel up in front, getting out of there to our own Regi, and I think that in general perhaps Whiscash is gonna be our main safe switch, but since we have a Registeel up in front, well, we have to switch out to our own Registeel, keeping the Whiscash for the end game against their own Registeel. Does that make sense to you? I think it does. So we're gonna have now a lot of play up against that Sableye, and here comes our Zap Cannon. Gonna get the shield out of them, which is pretty neat, and they cannot farm down, so they have to throw. We're gonna block. Wow, okay, I wasn't expecting that by Woetmak. One shield scenario here for the Regi. Can we pressure for a second shield? No, we cannot, but now they're gonna go in with their Pelipper. Pelipper is gonna farm down and get out of here with a lot of energy, and we have to respect the Hurricane, I believe. Yeah, gotta shield this one, and at the back there is gonna be the Regi. At this point we're gonna respond with the Whiscash, and I think we carry the upper hand here because no debuff after the Zap Cannon, no Focus Blast for that weird Registeel, and we just need to keep going with those Mud Bombs, dealing super effective damage and eventually finish off the Regi. Down they go. At the back they're not gonna go in, so we're gonna take this victory because they back out. Altaria in the next one, horrible in scenario, but we cannot switch out yet. Let's see how well this Shadow Latios is gonna do, because we are much more Glacier, but much more offensive than they are. And at this point we're just gonna go down, but we took a shield in the process, which is pretty neat. They got a Vigoroth coming in, we have the Focus Blast, which they have to respect the damage, and at this point I think that sacrificing a shield is pretty much worth it. So here comes the Body Slam, and we can definitely get to another one before they reach to a Bulldoze, I believe. So that has to be a Body Slam, which is cool. Now getting to the Focus Blast and the Nuke against that Vigoroth. You love to see it. Down they go. Altaria goes in, which makes a lot of sense at this point, but we still got one shield and the Whiscash. The battle is not over yet. It all depends on that final Pokemon. I think we need to take this one here, no reason at all to block, and we can farm a lot of energy. Getting now to the Mud Bomb as soon as we see the Registeel hopping into the battle, and we got a lot of energy to spare. Let's get now to another Mud Bomb, but can we do it? Because that Altaria can always go in and finish us off. However, we still got the shield, and this can protect us from the Regi, giving us some time to overfarm a lot here. Able to get now to the Mud Bomb and the Nice. I really like this strategy, however they're still going down, and we're gonna lose these trainers, which is a bummer. Here comes the Sky Attack. Perhaps the Nice was not even a very good strategy, because even not going for the Nice, perhaps that Regi could survive and farm a little bit more extra, and we could have avoided this weird CMP, but it happened, and Woetmak really thought about it pretty nicely, but he was kinda unlucky in the end. Into the next one, I've got met up with the Zangoose on the switch, I believe here, so we have to block the second one because it can be a close combat, which it is. Wow. Now we're just gonna keep going with those Mud Bombs. They are gonna block, so sacrificing a second shield might be a wise choice here. No, we're just gonna let it go through, because now they're energy dry and Latios can definitely farm down after all those debuffs. Was that one Dragon Breath? That was crazy. So now we have those Zap Cannons to do a lot of damage on that next Pokemon, which happens to be the Deoxys, and to be honest I think we're looking pretty solid here, because even after this Thunderbolt we can definitely reach to another one and finish them off while they cannot farm down for sure. Zap Cannon here gonna connect, down goes the Deoxys, Registeel goes in, and they know they stand no chance at all, especially with us having one shield up. Into the next one now, another Registeel. So many Registeels for the Hoenn Cup, makes sense, I know, but still people do not like to run something spicy, so we're gonna see another Regi up in front, and we got those Zap Cannons from our own Registeel, while Shadow Latios is gonna retreat for now. They're gonna keep going here, and that makes me think, what do you have at the back, trainer? Will this be a team with double flyer? But I doubt it, because a lot of trainers tend to have a Sableye at the back. And here it is. Speaking of Sableye, that was crazy, and they knew that we were getting super close to the Zap Cannon, so we're just gonna block the foul play after they throw, and now we're gonna reach it, and that is looking pretty solid for us, because now we can go in with the Whiscash and perhaps completely farm down. Can we do it? I think we can, because after the debuff we have nothing to worry about. Okay, Woetmak is just gonna throw, which makes kinda sense. He doesn't want to risk it anymore. Whiscash with energy and HP is literally a very nice threat to anything. They got now the Altaria going in pretty clutch, and we can reach to the Blizzard and the complete nuke against the Dragon type. Down goes from a whole 100 HP scale to a 0, and that was pretty solid. Gonna cut the move, the Focus Blast of course, on the Psychic type Pokemon, the Latios, and now we can outspeed. They know that and they back out. Latios for the win over here. Into the next one now with the Altaria up on the lead. We saw before that this was not a very good matchup for our Pokemon, so we're gonna follow the same strategy as it seems. Let's get now to the Dragon Claw. They are gonna block and then sacrifice our Latios. We can still go in with the Regi, so we can definitely farm down if they are not gonna switch out, and getting out of here with 100 energy is always a nice thing for the Regi, and since we got the shield advantage, anything can be possible. Gonna reach now to the Focus Blast, so no farm down for Woetmak. At the back there is gonna be the Swampert, and at this point we're just gonna keep going with our Whiscash. If I was Woetmak, well, perhaps I could go for that complete farm down, but I understand it completely, so we're just gonna keep going here for that Whiscash and those Mud Bombs. Swampert is gonna take a lot of damage from our moves, while they still have to throw those Hydro Cannons if they want to have any chance at all. They were farming a lot, so double blocking here, pretty brave choice by Woetmak. Can we farm down right after? No, we cannot, but it seems that they have a Charmer at the back, the Shadow Gardevoir, and at this point we have the Registeel. Let's get now to that Focus Blast, not even the Zap Cannon, and this is gonna take the shield, of course. Can we reach another one? Yes, we can. They're getting a little bit too greedy, and I think this is gonna be more than enough to finish them off, even if it is double resisted. This is a race now to the next move, and they can beat us down. So Swampert definitely a better closer than Whiscash, but Whiscash a safer pick overall, especially with the Blizzard, because we saw the nuke up against that Altaria. Woetmak against the world, and we're having now the Reggie against the Sableye. They're gonna go with that foul play, and we're not gonna block the first one, just gonna take it. Now gonna reach to the Zap Cannon and another debuff on the Sableye. We can definitely survive this one, but after a few Dragon Claws this might just be it. No, we can still reach to that amazing Focus Blast for the victory against Sableye, which is pretty neat. I thought they could farm down, but that was not happening at all. Dusclops now goes in, and we have our Whiscash, which can be a pretty clutch mon up against them. So we still got Latios, and this Dusclops is an amazing Pokemon overall because of Poltergeist and Ice Punch. If you didn't know, I also did a Poltergeist video, so yeah, definitely a Pokemon that you should check out for sure if you want to have a very nice understanding of the meta and a pretty cool closer on your team, because Poltergeist is gonna get a lot of unsuspected opponents out of the way, especially with them having some shields and they're expecting a Shadow Punch or an Ice Punch, but instead the Shadow Dusclops with that Poltergeist can do all the work. So now we're gonna reach those Mud Bombs back to back to finish off the Pelipper, and I believe that with that no shield scenario they stand no chance at all. They know that they back out, and that is a solid victory for Woetmak. Gardevoir getting out of here fast. Okay, oof, that was pretty close. So now Whiscash is gonna go in, keeping that Registeel for the end game against that Gardevoir. Blizzard on their Whiscash. This is a key element for our victory. We need to flip around this very bad lead, so I think that double blocking here might be a wise choice overall. Gonna block the Blizzard of their own, which is pretty neat, and this is definitely a Mud Bomb. No reason to block here. We can definitely survive this, while we can also farm down, expecting that Gardevoir to return, but instead they bring the Blaziken. Are you kidding me? This is looking pretty promising now, because we have the Latios over that Blaziken and have avoided the matchup with the Gardevoir. So here comes now the Zap Cannon from our Reggie. I think the battle is already over, but let's see. Who knows what can happen here. This is Go Battle League or Go Battle Lag after all. So let's reach now to another Zap Cannon. Pretty cool energy management by Woetmak, able to get the second shield out of the way. Can they outspeed though? This is a move coming off. If that is gonna be a Shadow Ball, perhaps the battle is over. Can we farm down? No, we cannot, but we can still reach to the Dragon Claw. Are you kidding me? This is crazy. Can we farm them down? Yes, we can. Shadow Latios for the crazy victory. For a moment I was like, how can we possibly win this? And even after the win, I still cannot believe it. So final one trainers against that Vigoroth. They back out to the Pelipper, and you know what? We're just gonna keep going here for the Latios and the win. I think we have to block, and right after we can somehow farm down. No, we cannot, but we're gonna let this go through. So a Weather Ball can definitely be taken, farming down right after, expecting the Vigoroth to return, but at this point we still got another Dragon Claw to try and pressure even more. Whiscash going in now. And at this point I think that the body slams and the counters are gonna do a lot of work against our Pokemon, but still, as soon as we are gonna get that Vigoroth out of the way, and our Registeel is gonna be at the back, we're gonna be just fine, unless they have an ABA team with a double counter on a weird alignment on their team. So here comes at the back the final Pokemon. It is gonna be the Gardevoir, the back out, and that is the final victory for this amazing team with Shadow Latios, and that is gonna be a wrap, everyone. Thank you for watching, trainers. Just be sure to leave a huge like before you go, subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, and if you want to support even more, well, joining as a member can always help with that matter. Thank you once again, and I hope to see you all into the next one. Take care, trainers.